was a vegetarian for about 2 years, and it's not what you think. There wasn't anything to do with like ethics or I want to save the cows or anything like that. It's basically because I ate so much crap that I ended up having fever dreams that were a bit like the Lion King, only instead it was the Burger King. And he and I were sitting on top of Mount Whopper, and he was saying to me in his very beautiful southern drawl, he was saying, "Son, when I'm gone, everything a lad touches will be yours." And then there'll be me sitting down the bottom going, "But Mr. Burger King, what about that red area over there?" Because apparently I'm 6 years old now. And he would say, "That is the Macappy land. You must promise me you will never go there." And so, like, this is a big move for me. Like, you have to change around all of your life when you want to be a vegetarian. And so I went to all my friends. I said, "Hey, I've made steps in my life to be a better person. I don't have a job and I have shit all income, but at least I'm making decisions on whether or not to eat animals." And I worked out what it's like to be hated by absolutely everyone. So I went to speak to my meat-eating friends, and I realized that they will do everything in their power to tell you to come back to the dark side. To be like, "Hey, let me tell you something about me. Normal people eat meat. Jesus ate meat. Allah ate meat from barbecues that were facing Mecca. Normal people eat meat. Do you think you're better than Jesus? Punk?" And so I was like, "Oh, all right. I've got plenty of vegetarian and vegan friends. I can go be mates with them." Wrong. They ignored me for the entire 2 years that I was a vegetarian, and I never understood why until I got to sort of the end, and I started to get quite sick, and I got anemic, and I just realized I couldn't keep going with that. And so I went to one of my best vegan friends, and I said, "Hey, I'm coming back to meat because, I'm getting sick and I'm about to, put myself in the ground if I don't stop." And she looked at me with the same look that you would see on a blank A4 sheet of paper and said, "So what?" And I was like, "Well, okay, let's play a game here for a second. And you can call me emotionally manipulative, you can call me whatever the hell you want to call me. But I was like, okay, let's test the friendship. Who would you rather die in this scenario? Me or the cow I ate for lunch?" And she looked at me and just goes, it took her like a fraction of a second to make the decision. She said, "Well, obviously the cow, because at least he wouldn't be an asshole about it." So anyway, I never realized that there was this whole like civil war going on underneath the fabrics of society. And it's like the vegetarians versus the vegans versus the vegans versus the vegetarians in like this massive fucking obnoxious holy war for who can eat the least and survive. And you'll hear the kinds of things like, "Well, I haven't eaten anything since like forever that breathed oxygen." And I'm pretty sure that makes me like a level 8 vegan, so like whatever, poser. And I've never understood why they need to sort of sprinkle that level of supremacy all over their kale in the morning. Because like I see myself in little scenarios where it's like I'll be standing next to a woman who's having a heart attack on the floor, and I'll say, "Excuse me, does anyone know how to save this woman? Is there a doctor in the house?" And one of them will push through the throng of people and say, "Stand back, I'm a vegan." And then that will literally be it, and that poor woman will die. Thank you. And I guess this all kind of came to a head when I spoke to one of my mate's girlfriends about it. I said, "Look, I'm coming back to meat, and I can't deal with it." And she immediately got like up onto this really big high horse and was like, "I'm going to take you to a farm, I'm going to introduce you to a pig, and you are never going to want to eat bacon, you are never going to want to eat meat, you are never going to want to eat anything with eyes and a soul again." And we did. We drove 100 kilometers out of fucking Brisbane to some random-ass organic farm somewhere up north, I don't know where it was, that had a giant sign out the front that said, "Organic farm, by the way, all of our manure is processed in-house." To meet a pig named, I shit you not, Porky. And I'm getting all these mixed messages, and we're sitting there and we're playing with Porky and everything, and at the very end she said to me, "Okay, so how do you feel now? Do you think you could ever eat something like that again? Do you think you could ever eat anything with eyes and a soul? How would you feel about that?" And I kind of looked at her and said, "Well, at least you won't be an asshole about it." Thank you very much.